Yeah, my name is Orlando Foreman. At one point in time in my life, I used to run the streets. Unfortunately, the streets caught up with me in 1995, and I was shot by the police, paralyzed, went into feds, and did 23 straight years. Mercy of the God, I was released in 2018. Actually, I'm sorry. I was ready to say, hold up. What happened? I'm missing years. Yeah, what happened? I'm missing years. I was released in 2018 after serving 23 straight years. So I just been home since then, man, trying to enjoy life. Came home in 1995, like I said, after doing 10 years, I got into a situation where I thought I was going back for the rest of my life.
So you did 10?
10 years, yeah, from 85 to 95. And had been in prior to that from 83 to 85.
Wow.
I didn't have much time on the street.
Right.
And so when I got put in that situation, I guess I could say I panicked. I guess I said that I always said that I wasn't going back to jail. I had that mentality, but I meant it. And I ended up having to grab the hostage. And when the police had me blocked in on Governor Prince, there was just no way out, I saw. And I realized like they're gonna have to kill me. And I opened up fire on them and they hit me 5 times and the rest is history. Woke up 2 months out of a coma, paralyzed, didn't even know I was paralyzed. And she said, Mr. Foreman, it's quite evident that you're very intelligent. She said, I don't like the way some of these things in this case have went down. She says, but I believe sentence you to life when you're in a wheelchair would be like double life. She said, because you're in the wheelchair for your rest of life. She said, I think that's life enough. And I sure was thankful for that judge, man. Sue Robinson, I always give a shout out. But it's out the box that puts you back in the box of life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It gives you tools that you just didn't really know how to utilize them. It allows you to think different. Because a lot of us, when you get used to things, we're afraid of change.
Absolutely.
And that's the worst thing that humans can do is be scared of change.
Mm-hmm. And now, doing a 23-year stretch in a chair.
It definitely was a challenge. It definitely was taxing. I mean, I just thank Allah, God, for giving me the strength and making me a strong brother, man. I think when them 5 bullets was in me in 1995, when I had to wake up and realize I had to stop feeling sorry for myself, I really realized that I had to grow mentally. And if I was going to be successful in whatever it was I was going to do, I had to start thinking different.
Yeah.
I couldn't think like a criminal more. I had to think like somebody on the outside who was trying to do something with their life.
Thank you. This is another episode. Let's talk about it with me, Kenny Harris. Obviously, today we're going to put a spin on it because what I did was I actually was interviewed by the Winners Circle. So with the Winners Circle wanted to interview me. They brought me on. It was a different dynamic. They asked me the content of the show and what I'm trying to get out of it and my objective. And obviously, as you guys know, if you've been tuning in, I want everybody to learn and get something from it, apply it to your life, and just make those corrections where people, made those wrong choices. So today, it's a spin on it. Once again, we got Dr. Dwight Dockery on the show. He's going to interview me. Although, however, when people come on the show, it's a conversation. A lot of people don't ask me questions. A lot of people don't want to challenge me on things. So today, I'll be in the hot seat, and Dr. Dwight Dockery, you can take it from there.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate this opportunity, and we just going to jump right into it. And first of all, I just want to applaud the platform for men to have an outlet, for people to have an outlet to share, to vent, to be vulnerable. And I applaud you as a brother of healing other brothers, because a lot of us don't have that. So applaud and salute to you.
Thank you.
So the purpose and premise of the show is for what?
For people to get something out of it and apply it to their lives. So once again, you have individuals who have podcasts, you see it all the time, you see talk shows, but you're looking at a celebrity, you're looking at an entertainer, and you're saying, I can't achieve what they can achieve because I'm not them, right? They're extraordinary because they achieve these goals, right? Because they're famous, because they're on TV, they're just out there, right? So it looks like it's far-fetched, but my thing is, you can see us, right, and say, I never heard of Kenny Harris before. I don't know him. Who is this guy? He's a regular individual. He has a show, but obviously he's able to have a conversation with people and bring something out of them that they wouldn't entertain or share with anybody else, being vulnerable, right? But then not only that, these individuals are talking about how they may have grown from that point, or maybe how they're stuck there and they're looking for answers, right? So while a person is on here venting and they have that outlet to be vulnerable, the individual watching the show can say, you know what, I've experienced the same thing. I'm going through that. I'm dealing with it. You know what? Because Chris Fountain does not know what love is, let me make sure that I know what love is. So with my partner, I can share that love. Let me make sure that my partner knows that we have a connection and they can feel it, right? So the thing is, you watch this show, you learn things, and you apply it to your life. It's kind of like playing sports. If you see LeBron, you see Michael Jordan, you start to study him, you watch their moves, and you say, you know what, I'm not them, but I can apply that to my repertoire. So the thing is, I want people to watch this show and they can see these are real people. These are raw conversations. They experienced the same thing that I experienced, but you know what? They figured it out. Or you know what? They didn't figure it out, but I'm going through the same thing and I can make some corrections in my life. So that's the main objective, what I want the viewers to get from this. I am you, you are me, right? Now let's get better. So the thing is, challenge yourself, do something about it.
Okay.
That's the slogan for the show, right?
Challenge yourself,
Do something about it.
do something about it.
Yes.
Is the selection arbitrary or you handpick your guests?
No. Well, you know what? I've reached out to so many people, right? And people, gotten back with me saying, yes, I'll be open to doing it. Some people are hesitant or they bullshit me, right? I hit them up, here go my number, or I know them. But my thing is also with those individuals I reach out to, they have a product, they provide a service. So although I'm interviewing you, I also want to market your brand, right? So it's like, although you're going to come on my show, I'm still going to assist you. So it's not like I just want you to come on and look good, right? Because you're a cute young lady. Nah, you got something to talk about. You got a story. Tell me how you started this process. Tell me why you did it. Where does it come from? What are your thoughts? Why did you wait so long, right? Like, do you really believe in it? Like, what happened, right? What inspired you? So that's my thing. But, sometimes, those individuals who didn't get back with me or haven't, so be it, right? But the individuals who do, thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
Much respect. Things don't happen by chance. Are you things happen because you want them? Are you a guy that plans for things? And it's a segue to my question: is how did you lead up to this?
Well, that's a good one, man. I work with people, and I always have for the past 10 years, right? Plus. But when it came to this show, it was a few years ago. I said something to a friend of mine, Cousin Dre, who was actually on the show. I think he was episode 5, the Dreads, right? If y'all remember. So we worked together, and I was like, yo, these people always around here complaining. You know what I mean? They always saying something. But ain't nobody making no changes. But I said, it's okay. I know how to get stuff out of people, right? And people feel comfortable talking to me, so it's not even that I had to pry, especially in that environment. People would always talk to me about their problems or issues. And I would say, well, what part do you play in it? What's your role? You know what I mean? What's your accountability, right? What you mean, Ken? So we'll go back and forth, and I say, hey, well, if you correct this for yourself, you won't have these problems with other people because you steady worried about fixing your own issues and concerns, right? So I said, damn. So now the word get around. Man, go talk to Kenny. You know what I mean? You having an issue at work or you going through something, go talk to him. So people come to talk to me at the job, and I'm like, all right. So I was like, you know what? Man, I should just start a show and do this at the crib, like in my basement. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got a smooth little setup already. Like, you know what I mean? Bring people to the crib and shoot it. So I was like, Dre, it'd be good if you do it with me because you got to entertain him a little bit. And it's a coworker, so he always cracking a joke. You know what I mean? Keeps him entertained. And I'm always just beating him up. Boom, boom, bam. So you got to have somebody to bring him up at the same time while I'm tearing him down and then rebuild him. So that's where it came from. And this was probably like 3 years ago, right?
Okay.
I never did it. I was procrastinating. So, and then I had so many things going on. So I was like, I ain't gonna do it this time because I'm trying to do this. And then I want to do a book club. So I was like, how am I gonna make time for that? And I completely stopped it. But people would question me about it at the job. Like, yo, when you gonna do it? Because people were like, if Kenny say he gonna do something, he do it. And I was like, I'm gonna get to it. So I just kept pushing it off. But then, it clicked in my mind, like, work harder on yourself than you do at a job. You feel me? So I started working harder on myself, and everything that I said that I wanted or I'm going to do or I need to do for me, I just started to do. Yeah.
So were you tempered for this? Because I've heard you say Kenny, Mr. Kenny, Ken. Were you tempered for this? Did you develop calluses for change? Because you said without change, nothing happens. When did you see the change in yourself to take this opportunity and step on this platform of discipline?
You know what? Putting everybody before myself. You know, you do so many things, and you know, you put sweat equity in the stuff, you know, or money behind it, and it's not for you, right? And a lot of times I feel unappreciated, right? Undervalued. So I took a stand before the new year even hit, and I was like, I'm going in for myself, right? It's going to be about me. Fuck everybody else and what they doing. I don't give a fuck, right? Like, I'm not putting nobody before me, right? Because self-love is very important. Self-happiness is very important. And if I can't be happy, how am I going to make you happy, right? How am I going to make her happy, him, them, right? Because then now I'm all screwed up and jacked up. So my thing was, I'm going in. I'm going full-fledged. I don't care. You know what I mean? So, and then I really got excited, you know, by just purchasing this thing. That's a small thing. That's for this, right? Let me get some batteries for these microphones, right? Hey, let me go see if I want a new cell phone, right? Or if I just want to get a new fly camcorder, right? I don't care how much it costs. I'm getting it because I'm investing in me. You see what I'm saying?
So your matriculation in yourself started when? Because you didn't just become this.
No, well, I'm going to tell you this, man. As a kid, I always wanted more, and I knew that there was more. I just didn't know how to get it, right? So I came up in the projects, right? And I hate talking about this, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody has a story, right? So I never kind of revert back to where I came from and what happened to transpire, because I feel like everybody has a fucking story. And when I see people, when they talk about it, when they win an award or they do something, and they be like, "Man, I'm from the slums and I got a story." Hey, I get it and I feel you, and I'm not knocking you, but everybody has a story and we all have it, right? Though I hate it. But anyway, I come from that same environment, right? The slums, projects, whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? It was tough, it was rough, right? But I always had a vision of wanting more, right? And as I got older, you know, you get discouraged or it comes a lot cloudy, right? Because the thing is, the reality of it is, man, I want to do more. And I see all these people, and you ain't having these conversations with people. You having them to yourself at night, or when you looking out the window, or when you taking a ride somewhere. And it's like, well, if my neighbor, he's growing up, he a couple years older than me, and he was doing good, or he was a regular innocent kid. Now he pumping, right? Now he's shooting people. You see what I'm saying? Damn, now my man doing time. He done caught a body, right? He done robbed a store. Like, everybody starts to get in trouble when they follow this path. So I put it in my head, shit, it's on, right? Now, I'm going to continue to go to Martin Luther King, right? I'm going to go to George Reed Middle School. I'm going to go to William Penn High School. And while I'm in William Penn, I'm going to hustle, right? I'm going to hustle and I'm going to live with my mom for a minute. But I'm going to have money, so I'm cool, because that's what I was seeing. You feel me? But also, you know, you have this vision when you go to sleep at night, like, this can't be life. And then I play basketball. So it's like when I'm traveling, I play AAU, or I go on this side of town, or you got to take a walk all the way up to PS. But now I'm going across Governor Princeton, I'm seeing Pepsi Cola, right? Now I'm going through East Lawn. Well, I'm like, wow, these are nice houses, right? Then you get, you know, 34th Street, 35th and all that when you cross Market, and it's nicer and bigger houses, right? And it's like, if I play basketball with these guys and they have their parents, right? Like, now my vision, I'm starting to move, right? I can do more. I can do something, right? But I think for the most part, for my trajectory to change and know that it was a better way of life, my Godfather instilled it in me.
Okay.
You know, to say
I
all
respect
that. Yeah.
I'm going to give you, we'll say 5 names, 5 titles, 5 names. And I want you to give one word to describe what they mean to you and what they did for you. Your father.
Nothing. My biological father?
However you want to proceed.
Okay, well, I'll tell you. My biological father gave me nothing and something. I'll say that. And I'm going to break it down for you, right? If I heard you correctly. Am I breaking this down? So, I never met him. I never seen him. I talked to him as a kid. I remember he said he was going to give me some ice cream. My mom was on the phone with him. My My mom ended up breaking out crying, but I'm still so young. I forget the age I was at. I was in the projects, obviously. But I remember my mom bust out crying. I was like, okay, I hope this nigga still give me some ice cream. I loved ice cream, right? Boom. Never ever talked to him until I was about like 18, 19. I was in college, right? Found out I had a sister. And all I was thinking was, oh shit, I hope I ain't fuck her, right? Because I'm running around young, dumb, full of cum. That was me, right? And I'm like, well, I got a sister. How old is she? She was my age. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what's her name? And then she got a basic name, Ebony. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? I meet my sister. All I was thinking, like, yes, I ain't fuck her, right? Yeah, it's funny, but you know, who wants to fuck their sister? So then I found out my sister was in contact with him, right? I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But, you know, we get to talking for about a summer, just a few months, right? And never heard from him again. But what instilled in me for him and what I gained was like, nobody's going to give you anything. You got to stand tall, right? You got to go hard and you got to man up, whatever that is. But for me, it was keep going, never give up, right? Because in life, you know, when events happen, you're going to be weak or you're going to be strong, right? That shit going to kill you or you going to grow from it and just become stronger. Mm-hmm. So that's what it was with my dad.
Okay, well said. Your mother?
My mom. Whew. It's a good one, man. I'll say a crazy work ethic, right? Because my mom, she worked a lot. You feel me? And I felt like she believed in me or knew I would be cool because I was on my own a lot. You feel me? Like, shit. In elementary and middle school, I lived by myself. For sure. I lived by myself. When I say by myself, I live by myself in the projects. You feel me? Nobody else in the house. I was afraid for a little bit, but not really. I was so tired. I ran around outside all day. But to see my mom go from job to job, right? I knew that it was possible. And then to like move out of the projects, I felt like, she instilled that in me. So when I see her, how she went hard then, and when she would break it down, and you don't really understand as a child, but then I did, you know what I mean? Because I was so fucking grown and running around on my own and in conversations and hanging around with people. But I'll say the work ethic, man, you know, because she went hard and I was like, if need be, I got to do that. You feel me? And then I could attain those things that I saw, right? East Lawn, going across Market Street, those houses and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I could become another person, not just become another statistic.
Much respect. Your godfather?
Oh, man. Love. You know what I mean? And I say that with my whole heart. And man, that kind of make me want to cry or something. You know what I mean? Because that guy is my father. Right? So people going to look at this and say, oh shit, is God that? What? Hold on. They're going to be confused. Because he has always been my father. And people known him as that. You feel me? If you know me, right? And even if you don't. But people always look like, yo, that's my dad. So that's my whole heart right there, man. Because he can give me something that most people have failed that should have been in that position to do. But they chose not to. So, love. Everything, you know what I mean? I can confide in him. And, you know, even you go through difficult times, which we have, because I struggled with our relationship getting older, right? And not understanding life. You see what I'm saying? Or he say something and I'm automatically on his ass and I'm challenging him like, you ain't on your job. You feel me? Because you my dad. Like, do you understand? And he might be looking at me like, what the hell did I do? You feel me? Because he's confused. But it's me fighting myself.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's love, man. Love.
Okay. I'm going to segue because I said 5, but it's probably going to be 6 because you said Ebo and you met her later on in life.
I said who?
Ebony?
Yes.
Your sister. So
yes.
Siblings, do you have more than one or?
Yeah, I got more than one.
So I'm going to categorize siblings just collectively.
Go. Okay. On this? Okay. So, Ebony, understanding. I'll say understanding to describe her, because
She gave you understanding, correct?
yeah, she gave me understanding because of the relationship. It was like, it was excited and we were ecstatic to talk to each other. So we literally talked to each other for most of the day, right? And it was just like, I gotta understand. I was busy at the time. Like, I'm in college, I'm working out, I'm doing something, running around. You know what I mean? Like, I can be on the phone with you, sis, but like, that's other shit I'm trying to do. You feel me? But it was like, she was so excited, like, man, this is my brother, and I ain't never talked to him, and I got an older brother. I think I'm older than her. I don't know, but I'm her big brother at the end of the day. So she, you know, she created that understanding, and then for me, I had to realize we got to build this relationship and rapport. So I had to literally like understand her, because she was getting upset. I remember she let me borrow a CD, like this CDs was in, and you know, she was like, yo, where that CD, bro? I was like, all right, I'm gonna bring you. I'm in school when I get back to Delaware. Like, I don't come there every day. And you know, she was upset, but I was like, why is this CD? I think we had a conversation later on, like, why was that CD so important to you? And she was like, oh, that was my only one, and I really loved to hear it, and it was like my favorite CD, but I gave it to you. So I was like, okay, cool. But like, a lot of things she would just be upset about, and I had to learn her and how to deal with her, and then understand, like, this is her breaking point, right? She gonna cry if I say this, if I say that. So I had to understand. So that I'll say that for her. For Gianna, I gotta.
She's older?
No, younger.
Okay.
Particular.
Particular. Okay.
That's how I'll describe her. You gotta be very particular of what you say and what you do. Right? Because I believe she's struggling with something, but puts it on me. You feel me? Because I'm a man. So it's like, all right, sis, let me tread lightly, right? So I gotta nitpick at how I'm gonna check her when she's wrong, right? But then, you know, make sure I always pick her up and acknowledge her, you know, when she's right. But be extra with it, because she needs to know and understand that I really love her, right? I'm your brother. I always want the best for you. I care for you, right? There's nothing that I wouldn't do for you. I put myself on the line plenty of times, and I just put it out there. Like, you don't owe me anything. You know, just live your life and abuse your brother as you would if however you see fit.
Understood.
You see what I'm saying?
Understood.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna close out these last two. Iris.
Well, let me say Janice first, because that's the last one. Let me say Janice. Janice is the youngest, right? And I have more that my biological father has. I even got a brother the same name as me. It's deep. Yeah, there's another Kenny out there. Yeah, and this joker told me, I was like, you fucking clown. Not, he can tell me, but I'm like, how the fuck you name Tuesday? This ain't no George Foreman shit. You know, George Foreman take care of his kids. But anyway, Janice, my baby, right? Because she understands, she gets it. It's all wrapped in one. And
I need a word though. What did she?
A word. Astonishing.
Astonishing. She gave you astonishment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that for me?
Yeah, man. Everything about her is beautiful. And, you know, when I say that, she'll break every single thing down to you. Right? Explain to you why yes, why no, just because that's her. Right? It's not like, and she can say no and leave it at that. She can say no and yes and leave it like that. But she wants you to know. She wants you to understand where it came from, how it started, and how it's going to end. And then what you need to do to improve or fix it or become a better person. Right? Now, and then also, this girl can just correct her stuff, let you know I corrected, I worked on it, and I became a better person for it. And thank you very much. I appreciate you. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So she's a magnificent young lady, like, you know what I'm saying, and I just love talking to her. It's like you know how you the teacher, and then now you can become the student, and I'm like, this little girl is she in a world class of her own.
Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Iris, go ahead.
Any more brothers and sisters?
I could go on, but we're gonna go.
Okay.
There we go.
It's your show, bro.
I know.
You
but-
dictate tempo.
Absolutely.
So if you want to hit Big Kenny, the other Kenny, it's for you.
Well, you know, it's crazy. The other ones, my dad, other kids I haven't met.
Wow.
He told me about them, but I haven't met them. I would like to, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a people person all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? So, but I like to know my blood. Absolutely. Just, and then I run around a lot and I travel. So if I run into you, I want to know that's my kin. You feel me? Or if I'm here and I'm 2 hours away, I'm driving and coming to see you. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to show love. Oh, you got a football game? You got a basketball game? I'm going to fly in town and check you out. Yeah, I can't stay for 2 days because I got to get back and do this. You know what I mean? But I just want to be involved and I want them to know me because love is important to me, right? And love is something that I always yearn for, something that I always needed. Like, you know, people need certain things to function in life, to feel a certain way, to get them going. But all I need is love.
So the absence of them, they gave you a yearning for love.
Yeah.
So we gave them
Absence.
something. All right.
Yeah.
Iris.
A woman. And what I mean by that is the woman that I always wanted, right? We look for things in women, and we don't always get them because of where we at and what we choose, right? We don't understand as men, we're in control and we dictate, you know what I mean? What we want and how we gonna get it and how we gonna acquire it, right? So for me, I wanted a woman with a great head on her shoulders. I wanted her to be smart. I wanted her to be intelligent. I wanted her to be beautiful. I wanted her to be outgoing. You know, I wanted her to be able to express things to me that she's never expressed before. I wanted a woman to be vulnerable to me. Give me your darkest fears. Let me show you I can wrap it up and I can hold it tight dear to my heart and not allow anybody in. Allow me to protect you. Allow me to guide you, right? Allow me to shower you with love, right? Allow me to shower you with things. Let me appreciate you, right? So we want to do all these things, or we want these things from a woman, but we're not willing to give it to them. She has accepted me for the person that I am, inside out, right? From my past demons to my current demons and to the man that I've become along the way, right? Never pass judgment, right? And I mean, it's like, she's like, I'm for you and you're for me. You know, so it's purposeful to describe her in one word, because what I said I want, I got, and then I didn't only get that, but it was more fruitful once I got it. You feel me? And it was like, damn, I ain't even asked for all this. This is extra.
Okay.
With a bunch of things that I never thought that I could acquire or get being the man that I was. Because a lot of times our past follows us, right? And you know, you get hit with a speed bump here and there. And you know, when you're being vulnerable, and it's like, I'm just gonna tell you this, you ain't gonna find out nowhere else, right? Because people don't even know some of your darkest fears, right? Or some of your most tragic or traumatizing moments. And I lay it on the line, and it's, I view you no different. And not only like does it show, you even feel it. You know what I mean? It's never being held against you. It's never being lashed at you. And for me, that was something that I have experienced with women. It always coming back around. You share something and they just, they go to that low moment.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, bitch, I ain't do nothing. Like, we ain't even, it wasn't even that deep.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Last one, your children. I know you have a daughter. I know you have a son.
absolutely. Unconditional
What?
love.
Okay.
And I'll say it's been tough. You experience things with your kids, and I got a 13-year-old daughter, and she challenged me. She challenged me and had me in a space that I never thought that I'd be at. And I was like, there's a such thing as unconditional love, and I never thought that it was, right? And when you feel that way, you just want to be a father and you want to shower them with that love because you can't control it, right? I can be mad at her, but I still can give her a hug of joy. You feel me? I still can kiss all on her. Still can allow her to lay with me, right? And just hold her on my chest and just treat her still as if she's that infant, toddler, or child, right? Unconditional love. You know what I mean? With my son, it's beautiful for the simple fact that I can raise him into the man that I wasn't. The young man that I wasn't. I can give him the guidance that I didn't have. I can give him the love that I didn't have, right? Because there was a lot of things that I needed and I wanted and I was looking for it. And I was like worse than a deer in headlights, right? I was a motherfucking blind man with glasses on, looking for things, running into things, and I'm running to people and I'm touching them. And get the fuck out of here. He ain't never gonna have to worry about that with me. So I'm excited that I have a son here that I can give that to. And then also with me having a 13-year-old daughter, you know, little minor things that I may have not done with her, I'm gonna do with him. You feel what I'm saying? Because I can make those adjustments and I always room for improvement as a person and also as a father. And, you know, talking about this.
Well said. We're going to segue into something I call Back to the Future. How old are you?
35.
So when you answer this question, I need you to look into the camera, right? I want you to fast forward 10 years ahead. You're 45. What message would you give the 35-year-old Kenny?
I'm 45. I'm looking back. And the message that I'm going to give to Kenny now. Why'd you take so long?
Elaborate on that, please.
Why'd you take so long to make those corrections that you know were necessary at the time when you was fucking up? Why didn't you have those conversations and communication with people that you hurt at the time of the pain versus waiting months, years, or so many days go by? Now I understand that, you know, you can let days go by and then smooth things over. But still, you took the easy route by just letting it go. Why not break things down to people, especially, you know, the way you can articulate yourself? Why not give people what you want from them? So that's what I would say.
Stay there, stay there, stay
Okay,
there.
go.
What would you say to the boy, Kenny? What would you say to that boy inside you that didn't have a dad? That didn't know he had other siblings out there? That didn't know he was going to ascend to what he is? What would you say to that little boy craving for attention, love?
Don't hold on to that negative energy and dish that love out that you have inside. You know, don't miss the opportunity to give those individuals love who's looking for it from you, because you'll get that love that you yearn for, that you want. And love yourself first.
A little bit more, Kenny. What else would you
About
else
that.
would you say to that little boy?
It's-
Because he was searching.
Well,
He was searching. And I'm gonna close the loop on
I'll
that.
tell you this, and then this is a good one, right? The love that you're looking for is right there in front of you. Just accept it, right? So we'll go back to when I told you my godfather, right? You guys know about that. So he was always there and he wanted to be there, but I didn't accept it because I was looking, searching, and hoping for my biological father who didn't want to be there. So I should have accepted what was right in front of my face. That's it.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's it. Because I didn't always accept it. And I could have had him in my life more, and he was there, but I used to burn him out, like to the point where he was like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, so he's coming, making his trips, because he was in the Air Force. So he was making his trips back to Delaware when he had leave, or just even when he had just a single moment or a day. Man, I'm going to drive back on my fly back for me. And I ain't want it, because I knew that wasn't my dad. You know what I mean?
Well said, man. I appreciate your candor and your transparency. And I want you to also look at the husband. You go back to the camera, man. What words of advice would you give a husband of 34 years old at 45.
Okay. Well, I'm 35 and at 45.
My fault.
Yeah, it's okay.
Apologies.
Listen to what your wife is saying, what she's telling you. Try to understand from her perspective, not just yours. Continue to support her at all costs, but double down on what you need to do, because at the end of the day, things fall on you. And those are the things that I do now at 35, and I'm quite sure at 45, she'll get the picture and see, because things pay off. But yeah, I mean, that's
Powerful, Kenny.
that's it. Like,
That's powerful.
like honestly,
That's
yeah. Because I mean, I think about those things daily, and I have conversations with myself somewhat. Like, all right, I need to do this, I need to do that. But then I have those conversations with her, and I'm like, hey, you off to the races, and I did my part, and I'm gonna continue to do my part.
Yeah.
But understand this: everything falls all on me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, right? Like, I create a lot of things, right? Or I do a lot. I'm all over the place with things, right? And I love operating like that because it makes me even go harder,
Right.
to make sure that I keep things in line, in check, and in order. You feel me? But then I also have goals that I want to attain and accomplish and do. So this is all like practice. So I tell her all the time, like, you're going to be good regardless. Like, I'm not going to let you fall at the wayside. I'm not letting nothing fall. And if something falls, it fell, or I threw it and it happened on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So far we talked about the premise for this, the platform that it provides, and we kind of talked a little bit about where you come from, your evolution. What city and state you from?
Wilmington, Delaware, man. Riverside Projects.
Okay. If you could address the adolescents, let's say 9 to 18, what would you say to the young brothers out there?
What you're looking for is right in front of you. Because most of the times they say they want an outlet, right? They say we need a gym, we need somewhere to work out, the resources are here, right? Go to school. And I'm not saying go to school for the education part, although you should. But when you go to school, the resources are right there. The guidance counselor's office or those teachers, right? We got teachers who are from the city or teachers who are not from the city, but they have those resources for you for after school program, right? Now, you may not can't afford the Y, but then they got those programs that will pay for that YMCA for you, right? Put you in that Boys and Girls Club, right? But then right there on your cell phones, right? So they like to be on there. You got Scholars Turf on Vanderbilt Avenue, right? You got Game Changers for these kids. You got the Teen Warehouse, right? You got Boys and Girls Club. You got these city programs. They still out there, but kids don't take advantage of the resources, right? Now, I mean, back in the day, we would go to the center on the west side, right? Fifth and Madison. They always had a computer lounge in there, but guess what? A lot of us didn't go in there and fuck with those computers because we wanted to play basketball. You know what I mean? Wanted to go box, right? You want to go down in the dungeon and lift weights, right? Or you just want to play games in the other room and watch TV, right? But take advantage of the resources that are right in front of you. Go out to those individuals who are on your block, hanging in your neighborhood, those cool guys that have an education, that have a job, right? Because it's always a cool guy around. There's always a smooth cat, right? Or he always known, and he about his education. Yeah, he cool as a motherfucker, and he fly as shit, right? Or he used to do this, he used to do that. Man, go tug on his shirt. My man, can I get with you? But see, most of the times we don't want the help. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to go that extra mile because we feel entitled, right? Or we feel like he know I'm fucked up. He know the situation I'm in. He need to come holler at me. Motherfucker, you're a child. And no, I don't always know because I'm worried about myself and pressing forward. And I don't mind pulling you along, but you got to let me know. We got to communicate better. You see what I'm saying? So I would tell these guys to tap in, But most of them don't want to tap in. You see what I'm saying? You straddle the fence, right? I want to carry a hammer. I want to be like my man in them, right? But now I'm going to go to school too, right? I'm going to do the right. There is no right way to do wrong. And these cats think they can do that, or you think you smarter than the next cat. You see what I'm saying? Which they're not going to realize and get until it's too late. You see what I'm saying? And then at that time, it's like, damn, it's too late. Am I facing a life sentence? You feel me? Am I facing 10 to 15 to 20, you know? Or am I looking down the barrel of a gun? You feel me? Or I'm already in a shootout. And is this it? I'm hit. You feel me? Damn. Now my light flashing before my eyes. You see what I'm saying? So it's take advantage of the resources that are there right in front of you, man. It's always a community event somewhere or somebody that you can call on, you can chat with, but they choose not to. You know what I mean? So I'm telling them, reach out. Reach out. I would definitely tell these kids to reach out. And then better yet, I'm doing more than telling them to reach out, because I'm not one of those people who talk about it and don't be about it. Mm-hmm. I'm actually fucking helping the kids and the parents. I'm helping whole families, right? And I'm talking about professionally and personally, right? So I'm not looking for a check, right? I'm not looking for no accolades, right? I get phone calls. Hey, yo, man, I ran into this family. They need help with something. Say no more. Where they at? I'm on my way. You know what I mean? And this Joe Blow could call me, right? A chick could call me that I used to deal with. But she like, shit, I know he a good guy. I can call Kenny and he ain't going to bullshit you, right? And he don't even want nothing to do with me. But he going to come on the strength of he really want to help people and he care for them.
So if I hear you correctly, you said communicate.
Yes.
Take advantage of resources.
Yes.
Approach somebody in your community or in your area that may be doing something that you like.
Absolutely.
Okay. Law enforcement. What would you say to law enforcement?
Phew. What would I say to law enforcement? Police the community. And what do I mean by police the community? Get out and have a conversation with the people in the community. Get to know the community. Understand why they do what they do. So then in return, you can help them and assist them. Because everybody is not a criminal, right? Even the people with a criminal past can change. But now they're still in that environment because why? My family lives here. This is where my support is. You feel me? But you got to get to know the area that you're patrolling. You know, once again, communicate. Get out, engage with them, shake hands, give them a fist bump right now since COVID's going on, right? Patrol and walk around the community. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Maybe you should be at more community events, right? Put your face out there, put your name out there. Mm-hmm. Then, in return, the community will start to view the police differently, mm-hmm. right?
Quick little segue. Hypothetically, again, if we could go back in the future, if you was able to walk by Derek Chauvin and you was able to witness that situation, would you have pulled out your camera? Would you have talked? Or what would you have done?
Which one was that one? Because there's so many. Which one? Talk to me. Which one was this one?
Floyd. The knee on the neck.
Oh, what would I say to Derek Chauvin?
What would you do?
Oh, the cop that...
Correct. In the midst of that, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, but again, a lot of people can say in hindsight that I would do that I believe in dying for the cause and I believe in cheering, but in the moment of the mix, if Kenny Harris, right?
Yeah.
Was there, what would you do?
And I'm walking by, he choking him out. I'm saying something to the other cops because there's two more cops that's right there. Me. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling the cops, like, yo, he choking him, he killing him. Just take his hands, stop kneeling on him, take him off his neck. Man, get that cop off his neck. Like, what you gonna do? Stop looking at us, stop talking to them. Get him the fuck off his neck. He's killing him.
So you would have took a voice stance?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you have said to Derek Floyd?
Well, I mean, it's nothing much to say to Floyd being in that predicament.
You don't think so?
For me, he's being choked the fuck out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Did you watch the whole video?
It's not like he's from when it started, when they pulled him out of the car and all that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we talking about there because a lot of times, see, it's tricky, and I'll tell you this: seeing those situations happen, like that shit is already common, and I already see it. So it's like my thing is just comply. You feel me? First and foremost, because they gonna do what the fuck they gonna do. Make it easier on yourself. You feel me? Shit, I done been pulled over by the cop umpteen times, and they roll out on me. They do all this weird shit.
Yeah.
Man, I don't say a motherfucking thing. All right,
Yeah.
I'm complying. You know what I mean? Because I know you scared of me.
Yeah.
Right? I know I'm bigger than you. I know you fearful. He black. You know what I mean? Dude, he got a gun. You know what I mean? Most of my cars, I keep a 10 on them. You know what I mean? But shit, even if I'm riding in a car, yeah, I got a car that doesn't have tint, right? I'm still putting all my motherfucking windows down. I'm still showing my keys. I'm all out the window like this extra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so but
I got you.
I'm telling him to comply.
Yeah.
Hands down. My man, stop talking shit. Yo, shut the fuck up. Comply, dog. You know, and I done told cats that before, like, yo, we not doing that. You know what I mean? You know, why? You trying to put on a show, he gonna fuck you up.
Period.
And they don't give a fuck whether they being filmed or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thing is, don't cause no smoke, bro.
Yeah. What would you say to the educational system?
Let's provide some real education. So what I mean by provide real education is, when we talk about history, let's talk about real history, right? Stop telling us Christopher Columbus came across and discovered America when there was already fucking people here, right? How can somebody discover something when somebody's already there? Nah, right? Like, let's not just have Black History Month, but incorporate the Black history. You know what I mean? And then it's like, stop picking and choosing who we're going to give a better quality of education to, right? So, you know, if you go to school in a suburban environment, of course you have a great education, right? Like Appoquinimink, right? Say their school system is real good, right? Predominantly white though, right? Caucasian. Now, let's say you go to Red Clay, right? Predominantly black, but the textbooks are not the same. The quality of education is lower, right? The scales is lower. But then another thing that trips me out too is you have kids from the city who will go to school on the outer banks of the city, right? But then you'll have kids from the suburbs come to school in the city. So why are the private schools, right, in the city, but the kids in the city can't go to those schools, right? So the education system is fucked up. And why, right? Like, are you really for the kids? Or are you really for yourself, right? Are you really trying to create change? Or you just want to really change your situation? You see what I'm saying? Like, I had an event at the charter school now. It's the old Martin Luther King Jr., right? Over in the projects. I used to go there. The principal there lives somewhere in the suburb, but he brings his son to school there. I was like, wow, how awesome is that, right? But you know, most people, they're in position and they'll send their kids to another school somewhere else, right? Because they don't believe in it. So his thing is, not only do I believe in myself and I want to create a change, right? But I believe in these kids that go to school here and they're from this environment, because I also bring my own son here.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah, so it's like,
I'm with you.
Change it, please.
What would you say to single mothers?
Stop complaining. And what I mean by stop complaining is, because a lot of single mothers, they got they bashful, right? They bashful. He didn't do this, or he didn't do that, and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And listen, that kid did not ask to be here. You feel me? Now, as much as that nigga was piping you down, you was throwing that pussy. You feel me? So it's like, play your role and understand that you asked for this and you know that this was a possibility. You feel me? That father would be here or he would not. You see what I'm saying? You got to be prepared when you have a kid to know what fucking comes with it. Just like anything else you jump into. You see what I'm saying? If you cooking on the stove, you got to know that motherfucker gets hot. You know what I mean? And you got to put your gloves on, right? And go to work. Because if you don't and you just grab it, then you're going to burn yourself. You see what I'm saying? So who can you blame, right? Blame your fucking self if you want to be upset. But my thing is, take care of business, right? Don't be complaining. Don't nitpick. Go hard, right? Because just like there's single mothers out here, there's single fathers out here. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not with all the, you know, I just don't really entertain this shit for real, for real. You know what I mean? Like, you're a fucking adult, right? So woman the fuck up or do what you got to do. You see what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to hear that negative shit. You know what I mean? Understand that you created that and you probably played the role in that. You see what I'm saying? So he left. Well, why he leave? Oh, because he wasn't ready to stand up and be a man. Nah, because you was running your fucking mouth and he told you to stop, but you kept going. Being that angry woman, right? Or nitpicking that shit. You see what I'm saying? Same as with a guy. You feel me? Man, I'm doing this by myself. You know what I'm saying? Well, why you doing it by yourself? You know? Man, she wanted to be a little hoe. Oh, no, well, you ain't going to talk about the part when you was out here fucking chicks. So she told you she was going to leave and you step up to the plate and raise your kid or raise your daughter and I'm going to go over here and be a whore because that's what I want to do. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then if she was a whore or you was a whore in the first place, you already knew what you was getting into. So somebody going to want to give it up at some point. You know what I mean? Because when you have a kid, things change. I know especially for me it did, right? And I was like, woo, that's my responsibility, right? You know, so when I had my daughter, I was all in. Like, that shit was like planned. There wasn't no faking about it. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I got to be here, right? I want to be here. And I know that I didn't have a father as a child, so my daughter's going to have a dad, right? So I got to be here for her. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't going nowhere for like over a year. You know what I mean? Her mom at the time we was together, she was like, go out. I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm here with my baby. You crazy? You go out. You know what I mean? I ain't going nowhere. You feel me? I want to enjoy this time. You know what I mean? Because that's what's important to me. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't have nothing to say to those women. Like, all right, you're doing a good job, but you're being a responsible parent at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If you got a kid and you taking care of him, I don't want to see that shit you post. I really don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. Right? Because you ain't the only one doing it. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a million of us with kids out here in the world.
Before we get to Kenny's closeout, the last part of the show, what would you say to these young brothers in these gangs? What would you say? And I really want you to look at yourself, because our gang was the basketball. Our gang was trying to, get our numbers up with these females. What would you say to these young brothers in these gangs right now, Kenny?
It's pointless. It's about nothing. So why? Because it's not about money, right? Especially when you go back and you do your history, you do your research, or you know people and you hear and you in the hood, or you in the mix, right? Or your ear just to there, or finds you, because a lot of shit finds me, right? It's about nothing. We killing over a post, right? We killing over somebody says something out of their mouth, words. It's not that deep, bro, right? And then when you look at it, you got cats going to war with each other. You spend the night at each other's house, right? I got cousins in gangs who are like this now, trying to shoot each other and kill each other. You feel me? It's not worth it. You see what I'm saying? Like, where did it become more important to die than to live? Right? When did it start to be more important to catch a body and go do some jail than to be out here living?
Can you answer that yourself? Because martyrs are praised more than people that are living. James Hoover said that I created a monster when I put Huey in prison. So can you speak to both sides of that? Because they're doing it, Kenny. I would say this, in the absence of love, we seek out something that we relate to. So before you said it's nothing maybe to you, but it's something to them. They're seeking a connection. They're seeking a home. In the gang, I mean, from what we were taught before we got a better understanding, it represents a home. It represents love. So before we say it's nothing,
It does, but I can say this, man. And I'm talking now for me being 35, right? So I get it because I've done things that I'm not proud of, I'm not happy of, involved in things. But I'm saying, like, as an adult, I know that this shit is about nothing, especially what they're doing. Now, you have some kids that do have families, they do have that love, right? And like I said, even from my standpoint personally, some of my family members, they have that family dynamic. They have that immediate family. They got a mom, they got a father. You feel me? Or they have that love. They get what they want, they get it. They just want to be a follower and fit in. Now that's just from my personal, experience from with my family that I saw with some of them, right? Now I do have some cousins who don't have none of that, right? But that's a different story because you got like aunts and cousins and uncles who they wanna dress that shit up. Ain't nothing going on over here, or don't see. You know what I mean? Blow the smoke up in the air. You feel me? So we don't need your help over here. We cool. We all right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I'm available. I got you. I can. Nah, he good. You ain't got to worry. Hey, okay, you ain't got to tell me once. And then they get all upset and shit, or, body language change. Like you did something wrong. When really, I'm just trying to get a nigga what I needed. So he don't go out here and get some shit that I didn't get. You feel me? Because
for the sake of time, I definitely want to touch up on them points that you just kind of uttered in a fashion to challenge you to think outside of your comfort zone. But I want to do a Kenny's closeout. And if tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you say to the people today for the closeout?
If tomorrow wasn't promised, what would I say to the people today? Hopefully that I left you with something that you can apply to your life when you watch the podcast, you watch the show. Hopefully something resonates in you that you want to make a change right now, not tomorrow. You want to go out and seek your family. You know what love is or what it means to you, and I want you to give it out, right? Whatever success is to you or how you define it, I want you to start on it now. I would want you to get it. Right? I would want you to become more of who you are and also evolve into the person that you know that you can be or should be, which is a better person. That's what I would tell those people out here, and I would want them to get. So it's like, before it's too late, reach your full potential. Because most of the times, we say we have a plan, but we're going to wait till this happens or that happens. Why don't you start working on that plan now that will create that thing to happen? You don't have to wait. And it's change your mindset, change your way of thinking, right? But then, it trips me out. You ain't even got to change your way of thinking. Because most of the times, we'll do some fucked up shit and we'll plan that shit out real good, right? So it's not. So change that product, right? That thing, and do something that's going to get you a positive outcome versus a negative outcome. So that's what I would tell the people. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the Kenny Harris Show. Let's talk about it with Kenny Harris, obviously. We want to thank Dr. Dwight Dockery for coming on the show and making me dig deep and think about these questions and how I'm going to answer them. But thank you. Hopefully you guys and girls learned something today and you got something that you can apply to your life. Thank you once again for tuning in. Obviously, we're at the Cigar Lounge, 1624 Delaware Avenue. Thank you.